All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. It's Pastordowell. All right, I got two things I need to address because there is an extraordinary amount of people that have never been familiar with the ministry of Straightway that is asking questions concerning some of the statements that I make because they've been drawn to the truth and they're being convicted by the power of the Holy Spirit. And they just want clarity. And since some of these questions are redundant, I just decided to just stop for a second, make a video, and try to explain myself so that way I will have a reference to what I'm saying. All right. One of the questions I'm going to address is people ask me, why do I hate Christians? First of all, I don't hate Christians. Matter of fact, I don't really hate anybody that I know of. Now, well, unless you decide to become my enemy, because I'm not going to be working at trying to make you an enemy. People just automatically choose to become my enemy. But I'm not, just going to be going out there just hating on people because some people share a very high, lofty opinion of themselves that I don't share. It's not worth the time, the energy, and the effort. Now, I think what happens is that they hear me speak about the lies of the Christian religion and they have never heard of it before themselves. And some people have actually went back because they got so frustrated with what I was saying. They went to try to go prove me wrong only to find out that I was right. And it caused them to go back and talk to their pastor, and they're listening with a very attentive ear now, a very attentive ear. And their pastor cannot satisfy them with the right answers because they know that their pastors are lying to them. Let me say it again. I am not against Christians, people, if you choose to put that label up on yourself. I hate being lied to. Do you hate being lied to? And I read the history of the Bible that got the Israelites in a lot of trouble. And what got the Israelites in a lot of trouble was all this coexistent worship. In other words, you serving other gods, but you think you're going to serve the God of the Hebrews. And while you're doing all these other pagan practices, that he is somehow going to accept that. No, that's not consistent with what the Bible says. And so I just simply point out the three main pillars of Christianity, and I tell you the truth, that they are all, in fact, pagan in nature. And there's just happened to be Christmas, Easter, and Sunday. And if you choose to continue on those practices, you are worshiping other gods. Now, I know that that's hard hitting for a lot of people. If you think that I'm wrong, go do your own research. Go do your own research and then come back and tell me if I lied to you. I'm not the one that has reared you in fairy tales and lies. I have told you the truth. Now, I understand the reason why people get angry at me, because Galatians 4:16 says, have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? In other words, you will become people's enemy when you start telling the truth. Now, don't get me wrong. If you choose to serve his start day, if you choose to serve Satan Claus, if you choose to worship the sun god Ra by exalting Sunday over the Sabbath, that is your business. But I don't hate Christians. I hate the lies of the Christian religion that deceives people. And that's why people are fleeing away from these false pagan churches, because the lie can no longer be told. The lie can no longer be represented as truth, because now I done fingered it and put my preaching to it to open up your understanding, hopefully to give you an understanding of the scriptures, to see that these people don't care nothing about you. All they care about is form of godliness, fashion of godliness, but they continue to keep denying the power thereof. And the Bible teaches that when people do stuff like that, from such you need to turn away. So your pastors, your mother, your father, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews, your aunts, your aunts, your uncles, whatever you want to call them, they have all reared you in a pagan, satanic, religious system There's just going to be the largest system, religious system in the world, which is Christianity, and it's getting ready to take a back seat to Islam. So if you're going to be upset at me for, no, I'm not even going to say that. You should be upset at the people who have lied to you, and they cannot prove to you the truth from what they believe. And I realize that everybody is not going to, accept the truth and humble themselves if they had the humility to accept this truth and continue to keep growing. Because here, straightway, we're at perfect peace. The people in the ministry are at perfect peace. They say, well, we looked at some of your preaching and you're just so harsh and you're so brash. Well, according to the Bible, let me give you the resume of preaching. Paul was giving some instruction to one of the young men that he loved. He says, I want you to preach the word. Be instant in season, out of season. And he says, reprove and rebuke and exhort. Most of you never even get reproved. You never get rebuked. And if you did, you're so prideful that either you would take your tithe, your offering, your money, your family, and go somewhere else to the church of your choice so you can continue to keep on deceiving yourself because you think that somehow, somewhere you've arrived and you are above correction. And that is a deception right there when you believe that you are above correction. Again, we're at total peace out of straightway. We really, truly are. We will be the best brothers and sisters you probably ever met, and that is the truth. Let me end this video on this right here. The next question is, well, Pastor Dow, how does the daily festivities go at straightway? Well, we work. We eat together twice a day, and I'm a pastor. I'm the pastor, the head of the ministry. Whatever the saints of the Most High eat, I eat. I sit down in the dining hall with them. I eat exactly what they eat. I don't have no special meal plan. They don't give me no special meals. I'm not treated they do give me honor. Don't work now. That they do. They do honor me from one end of this earth to the next as the man of Yah because they know I'm telling them the truth. And besides this, you people are really deceived out there if you think everybody's going to have the ears to hear. Everybody's not going to have the ears to hear. I know a lot of people don't like what I say, but they can't do nothing about what I'm saying because they can't prove it wrong. They can't do it. All it is just a bunch of noise. That's all it is. But they can't prove me wrong. They cannot. They'll say, I don't like how he talks. I don't like what he says. What about the truth? Tell them to take issue with that truth, and they can't do that at all. But I say it again. I live like the saints. Do I live just like the saints?
Yes, sir.
Who works harder than me out there on that land?
No one. No one.
In the ministry?
No one. I don't think. I don't know everyone, but you work very hard. It's from the time you wake up in the morning until you go to bed at night. And then even still, sometimes you don't even sleep for the thinking on the cares of the saints and all that goes on in your head. So.
I think what needs to take place is that many of you need to reevaluate your offended position if you have one, because the offense is not on me, it's on you. You don't want having to deal with it. You feel it. You feel the pain of it. Somehow, some way it may alter and change your mind or your conscience, but it's not me that's giving you that offense. I understand that you want to think that you have never been lied to, and you want to think that you're intelligent enough that you have never been deceived. But I assure you, if you're in any Christian church whatsoever at all, you are being deceived. Now, coming to the Messiah, it requires change. You are no longer your own. You're bought with a price. And that change is going to cost you. This religion out here that tells you that there's no change when you come to Jesus and that you can stay the same way you are and look just like the world, act like the world, talk like the world, think like the world, sing like the world, dance like the world, be like the world, that's utter deception. That's utter deception, and you're going to burn for that. It's just that I love you enough to tell you the truth. What do you say?
I think what people think is that you're kicking against Jesus when you speak against Christianity, when in fact you're just kicking against the religious system that, like you said, allows you to be able to do whatever you want to do. You can come as you are to the Most High, but you don't stay as you are. There requires a change because he can't receive anything outside of holiness. So you're just trying to really get people to really have an intimate relationship with the Father. You're not kicking against Jesus. We serve him. I mean, that's who we serve, but it's just this religious system that has no guidelines, no requirements, no
just like the world.
You can do, there's no difference. I don't see any difference. You know, when you come this way, you want to be holy, so you do change things about yourself. You're not going to be able to stay the same and really have the ruah and be able to say that you're a child of the King if you're just walking in your own way. You can't do it.
So y'all got it backwards. If you think I'm talking about or against Jesus, you've been blinded. Your ears have been deafened, and you have been blinded in your minds. I'm not the one that's talking. Matter of fact, I am pro Jesus, for Jesus, more than you all. So I think that probably it would behoove you to probably maybe check out why you believe what you believe and then reevaluate what you say. You're going to find out that I have loved you enough to tell you the truth. And that's the truth, and that's true straightway.